In the air to right, and he did it again!
Welcome back to another Lefties 2 broadcast. Week 113 is in the books, and it looks like there could possibly be a change in the top 100 at the top, or maybe not. But we do got some new clubs that have joined the top 100, some that have been kicked out once again, and of course some people that are just dropping, and we got to figure out why. But also, you can see from the thumbnail, 2 strikes. We got the 2-strike pitcher start bench cut coming up, and we're going to check out some of the gameplay with them, and let's get into the groups. All right, so we have a group here with 8-3, 8-6, and again, can't really see exactly what they scored, but it doesn't really matter. They got first place, and you could see the team right there from Taiwan as well. 138 was their score, and they got an extra 25. So we could say probably 8-3, 8-6 got about 154 if they got about 50. And again, in goal level 5, right, you got to at least get 100 trophies in order to move up, right, in third place. So Aftermath New Day, New Day, move up a little bit still. As they got third place, they still moved up. Where Bama, as you can see, at fourth place, you need at least 150, otherwise they dropped. And of course, MLB Club right there, you got to at least get 200, so they dropped as well. All right, and a great idea here. We have Platinum Level 2. Sharkfin Soup gets their win, right? You get an extra in Platinum. You get to keep, you get a 50 or 25 boost. I can't really tell right there. Second place, you get to stay where you're at. You get your trophies, which is good. So Aftermath Uprise here. Nice job, 114. Evildoers did not get that 150. Toronto and Celta Barros didn't even show up this week. All right, another gold level 5 matchup. Team from Japan, Tejas. Smooth Operators, by the way. So not a great week for them. They have 35 people. So let's go out there and support the Smooth Operators. Let's get them some more people in their group. Club of the week. Okay, Aftermath OG. These guys, if you could look at the top 100 rankings, we'll show you here in a moment. But they are probably 1 week away, maybe 2, from nailing down a top 100 spot. And as you can see, Big Dingers get it done as well. They might be close to that top 100. We'll see. Korea Untouchables, bad week, and a team from Korea as well. All right, so Misfits as well, a team on the rise here in the Platinum level. 165 gets it, bases loaded. I'm going to scratch that. Braves, followed by the bases loaded Venezuela VZ. Raise up. In this case, raise down. All right, so again, we have a problem here. Again, we go out there, we try to throw an olive branch. Mandalorian's 5th best team in the land, according to the rankings. Now, I said, you guys found a sweet spot, which means they kind of score in the same area. They're very consistent where they're scoring, right? And they get matched up against teams such as this, where the Legends get second place at 115. They move up, the righties, and then you got the Yankees, thin blue line. So you got teams that are in the 40s and lower going against the Mandalorians. And again, if you could find your sweet spot and you can continuously get first or second place, you're going to be good. Mandalorians next week, they will have probably a couple more 6,000 clubs that are in their same range. So they'll have to kind of show it once again. But again, not insulting the club, even though they constantly take the defense every time. We know how the rankings work. They're flawed. It's fine. Play your games, and then the chips fall where they may be. And right now, the chips say that Mandalorians are 5th. That's fair. All right. The group of the week is the group of Death 2, and I hate all of these guys. And that means I don't really hate them. But Taiwan Representative Club 1, Padres finished 2nd, followed by a tie for 3rd place with Snow Poetry and Cats in Korea, as well as Taiwan. This is frustrating in so many words, is because this is a battle. This is how it should be every single week, this close. But this is Group of Death 2. Not a single club got over 160. And I'll show you right now. Let's see why that matters. The Group of Death 1. The top 5 scoring clubs in Platinum Level 5. And again, a very interesting week where once again, Tough and Tender at 199 gets the first place victory. Perla Negra gets their highest output, I believe, to date. Nice job, 183. The number one team, the first time they've scored third place in I don't know how many weeks. But again, the rankings are a little wonky. Mesaba Full Swing, they get fourth place, but they don't get 200, which means they're going to drop trophies and let these two, again, 161. So they scored more than every single team except the top four in front of them. And which means this will be the top five groups. Once again, Group of Death 2 will be the same five as well, if it all works the way it should. Which sucks for Lefties too, because they're going to drop even more. Sad. All right, next we have the Royals here in a goal level 2. Gets the easy, I can't say easy, but close, actually very competitive in this one. The Bad News Bears, I assume, New York Yankees, 190, 91, 89, 88. So tight. 9 ballers, and Texans didn't really have a chance in this one. But I believe, based off this rating here, the Royals might be the only team moving up. All right, American Sluggers back in the victory, and the Hounds, nice job getting second place there. Metropolitans, Rockets 883 might be on the verge of out of the top 100 for the first time in years, maybe. I don't know. It's been a long time. Full Send LLC. We'll see where Rockets 83 might be at 93. That's a bad look getting fifth place. It's going to be a tough one. All right, Sato, again, another opportunity that for them to move up with an easy victory over the Canadian Crushers. Canadians, Eagles, and hitting 420. So good job there. All right, I'd hit that new club. Probably going to lose their name rights, I assumed. Someone's going to report them. But easy victory. Do Dodgers, followed by a team from, it looks like Japan, and then Benchwarmers and Crazy Dogs. All right, Keep Swinging at 11th. Again, you can see this is just an interesting. We're going to take a quick look at that 39th ranked team, Namba. They were at one point number 2 ranked in all the land, but good job to Cooperstown at 65. The lowest ranked team in the group gets the victory, followed by the Spartans. So the 2 lowest teams, underdogs, get victories over the 6,000 Keep Swinging, and a team that typically a perennial 6,000. So let's go take a look real quick at Namba and see why they're so low. All right, so here's Namba, right, currently in participation rate 83, 50 out of 50, winning rate 41. We don't know what's going on with this club. They're usually a solid club, but the last several weeks just hasn't cut it for them. It's not a player problem. It's just that maybe a quality player problem, and I don't know. They have solid players within the club, but they just keep on losing in a bad way too. Very interesting. All right, next up we have Start Swinging. Victory for them and the Legends. So solid job there. Teams that are moving up. Wild Things, a team that's been in the top 100. U.S. Patriots as well, been in the top 100. And Red Shear, I think they've been close, but not there. So Start Swinging might be next week with the first or second place. They might be back in that top 100, or they're even really close. Maybe on the outside looking in. Let's see. Baseball Canada. Not a good week again for them. Hanwha at 125 gets the victory. That's one of those teams that the Mandalorians will probably be facing because they set the same score and they're both at 6,000, so that should be the same group, in my opinion. All right? And then the strongest baseball team at 67 with 114 gets second place. Everyone else falls. Formosa win. Venezuela, again, not a good showing for them. 83. Let's go figure out what's going on with Venezuela. Again, the same thing. Venezuela scoring less than 100. They're a team that was on the rise. Win rate, 39%, 83% participation rate. So missed games, of course, that'll do it. But 50 out of 50 players. We don't know what's going on there, but interesting to say the least. Next, Baseball Bros and All-Stars battling it out. Both of these teams, again, this is probably a group of death 3 if you want to look at it that way, because a country for hardworking people to enjoy at 8th, Korea at 10th, Blue Jays 12, 2022 at 12. They're all 6,000. All-Stars and Baseball Bros were on the outside, and they flip-flop. So those 3 teams are out, and All-Stars and Baseball Bros back in. So a solid group here overall with the not really a competitive except for the top 2, and of course a battle for third place, but didn't really matter. Fun group. All right, let these 2 starters. 3rd week in a row that they have dropped since being in the top 100. They're going to be doing a new strategy this week. But the battle for the top 2 teams, a solid job by the Australians in Samurai Japan, Texas, and let these 2 starters battle for 3rd. Texas got it, and the big sticks could not hang here. All right, let these two chill. Blue Jays, a team that was on the outside of 6,000. Let these two chill on the outside of 6,000. Get it done, first and second. They're back there. Moderated bunts at 6,000. They're going to fall back again. Warts and hemorrhoids and Iowa 2. No chance here in this one. And those are the groups. Let's go to the start bench cut with Murdoch, Caroline, and Michelle. The two strikers. Okay, so your start bench cut is here. We're looking at Murdoch, Caroline, and Michelle. And the reason why is there are 2 strike boosters, right? So on the 2 strikes, they come through in the clutch a little bit better. Let's take a look at Murdoch's rankings here at level 13 and 14, of course. But I have him at 13, so we're going to see the gameplay at 13. 2 strikes, probability of pitching and becoming a ground ball is hit significantly increased. So we use Jessica for all 3 to keep them all roughly the same. Just kind of taking a look at why I think they are where they're at. So Murdoch, again, at level 13 is 222 control. That's a good thing. Movement, 203. Velocity is a weak spot at 165. Spin, 184. Okay, Caroline, again, perfect control with 2 strikes. 218, so another solid control. Velocity, low again, but a little bit higher than Murdoch. Movement, and then spin. So a little bit less spin as well. All right, Michelle, 203, so control is a little bit less. Velocity, a little bit more than Murdoch, less than Caroline. Movement, and then spin higher than the 3. Right, so just taking a comparison shot. Right, you see the control, Murdoch has it. Velocity, Michelle has it. Movement, Murdoch has it. And then spin. So they're kind of flip-flopped in different areas, but control is the theme of the day, right? When we're looking at it, control pretty similar. Velocity, Caroline. Movement goes to Murdoch. And spin goes. So there's the benefit here. So let's take a look at each of the 3 as we explain kind of what's going on within the pitching. All right, so we're going to look at Michelle first. And again, we're just looking at not the whole game, of course. It's not really important, but more just like her pitching ability and kind of giving you what my thoughts are with it. So again, with her control, all 3 pitchers have really solid control. Michelle, as a common, has that straight fastball, which is kind of like one of her, in my opinion, weaknesses where it's not. So she has to rely on that curveball / slider. And the ideal is that they get that solid control, right, where it's just decreased and the ball speed increases. So there's a 2 thing there where her velocity increases as well as the decreased size. So that's a double win as she gets 2 strikes. But again, as a common pitcher, you really got to have a good placement. Otherwise, you can get really burnt. Luckily, I think this game here is a bot. And we're going to see a moment here where you'll see why I believe this is a bot, just in my opinion. Because that strike right there. But again, the bots have a weird way of stealing without any competition. But we got 2 strikes here. So again, with the increase in speed, it does allow you to kind of have that challenge ability, which can get some people caught off guard, inducing a fly ball, which definitely helps. So that's pretty solid when it comes to Michelle. But again, going against all these power hitters, you still got to be careful. And for me, a lot of her pitches do not really have that ability. They're really easy to read, in my opinion. But here we get out of it, so that's pretty solid. So let's go to Caroline. All right, so luckily we get to start out the game here with Caroline. Now, Caroline is a lefty, where the other 2 are both righties. So that does add a little bit. And, of course, having that little submarine-style pitching does give a different look. Much more control and a balance on the velocity and movement. But where she gets burned is that spin. So with Caroline and the 2-seamer, where Michelle has that straight fastball, the 2-seamer does allow you to kind of have a little bit extra movement, which does help. I just don't recommend ever really throwing it into the strike zone because, again, with having such a low spin, right, it will get hit out of the park on a high, that one's a slider coming in. So again, a strike to a power hitter, usually you do get beat a little bit. But for bots, I do like using Caroline for bots because that forkball does come in handy quite a bit to get some strikeouts with that little slider. That's my opinion here. Caroline, fun fact, was one of my very first pitchers I ever used in this game, as an epic. After I realized that she was terrible, and I switched to James, and 2.6 ERA later and thousands of games later, Caroline is just a kind of a fun player to play with, trying to get some shorts. But again, having that pinpoint control, I don't even know if we're going to get 2 strikes in this game, which makes me a little sad. Again, playing against a real player makes it a little bit tougher. And as you can see, a ball in the strike zone again to a solid power hitter, but he makes a mistake here and runs into an out, conceding 1 run. So let's go to Murdoch for the last moment. This is a fun game. We get to play against Mike versus the Padres. He doesn't say hi in this game, sadly. I like Mike. But again, Murdoch. Now, Murdoch has a straight fastball and then his special 2-seamer with a curve, that kind of floating curve, right? There's an opportunity. That floating curve definitely is, it's deceptive in that way. Changeup as well. So one of the biggest issues with Murdoch is he is just so slow. So you really got to nibble. A straight fastball coming in with that slow velocity is not really a solid pitch to really do anything with. You're really hoping to get the 2 strikes with that, because if you throw that ball into the strike zone, a fastball into the strike zone, you're going to get beat. And again, here, that was a curveball out of the strike zone against a power hitter. But the idea is that when you have such perfect timing with the power hitters and good contact as well, you're going to be at a loss when it comes to trying to execute solid pitches. So you see there, that 2-seamer as a ball in the zone, solid movement, which again, one of his positives, right? So, and there's an example of a fastball, and I should have got beat by it, but, Hammer, I think Hammer swinging on the first pitch is nerfed a little bit, as they said he is. But, able to get out of the inning here. By the way, I do win all 3 of these games, even against the last 2. I did a little comeback against Mike. But let's get back to the screen. Okay, so here it is. What is my decision here? It's pretty simple. As I like to play the game, I don't like Michelle. Actually, Michelle is my scapegoat when I get tilted. I just go play with her and just don't really care. Her ERA, as you guys can see with me, is 10. I don't really care. I don't, and mainly, this is not really fair, personal opinion, but to be realistically, I know players that use her and are really good with her. I just don't like necessarily the straight fastball. So just throwing that straight fastball is not really deceptive enough for me, where I do prefer a 2-seamer, unless there's a lot more velocity with it, and she doesn't quite have that. So in this case, Murdoch and Caroline, right? So it's like this, right? So who's better against bots and who's better against real players? Okay, so bots, Caroline, I'm better with than Murdoch, and Murdoch is better against real players than Caroline, right? More pitching opportunities and then a better skill overall. So it's very simple in this case. This is not really a tough decision, but just kind of giving you an idea. I would bench Caroline. I bring her in, especially in Clash League. She does have a high pitch count. So every once in a while, bringing her in from your bullpen in Clash League is pretty solid. Murdoch has a pretty decent pitch count for a legendary pitcher, because he's so slow. But it's so tough because he's so slow. So all 3 of these pitchers I don't really like in general, but the game is start, bench, cut. So if I had to, I'm going to start Murdoch. Not going to feel comfortable about it. I'm going to put Caroline on the bench in the bullpen and cut Michelle. So there you have it. Let me know what you guys think, and let's go to the top 100. Welcome back. Here it is. So we have a top 100, Never Die, Gold Moon, Bold Fall. The third club, Taiwan Representative Club 3, Dingers back in the top 100. Ice Cold Beers, second week in a row at 97. All right, Full Send LLC Padres, huge drops, especially from the Padres dugout. No shows. Woes, hey, they survived. They're able to kind of get the job done and move up. Heavy hitters, I don't think heavy hitters have been in the top 100 in a long time, if ever. Congratulations to the heavy hitters. Welcome. Korea with a drop as well. Warriors, another one to survive the top 100 and move up. All right. Samsung 777, Chinese team, Toros all drop. West Coast Clowns, Sticks and Stones, both moving up. Metropolitans, Thin Blue Line, Formosa Win, both drop. All three drop. Redditor, Stars and Stripes, Beast Mode drop. As American First 2, Revolution 2 moving up. Aftermath, Ballbusters, Team Japan moving down. Hounds and American Sluggers moving up. Hyundai Unicorns, Bad News Bears again, man. They were on a rise, and I don't know what's going on with the Bad News Bears here, but sad times for them. All right, Tough and Tender, their second club, and Taiwan moving up. Japan stays exactly where they're at. Nobody's in that club. Nexus and Iowa 2 both moving back. With Bambinos, Taiwanese Kindergarten, Big Air China Lemon moving up. All right, Slam Jams, Marriott Group, no one's there, but they're moving up regardless. Strongest baseball team moves up as well. Mariners and Yankees moving down. Actually, the Mariners stay exactly where they're at. My bad. That should be something different. All right, so Camo Japan, Cooperstown 2, nice move up for them. Slam Jams 2 moving back. Japan Samurai and the Yankees moving back. Top 50. Revolution 1, Nance Crew, Spartans, USA MLB moving up and moving back one spot. Japan 001. All-Stars, Namba, and Venezuela all moving back. And again, interesting, they got fourth place, but they moved up in the rankings. So good for them. 8386, no one's home, but they move up. All right, Warts and Hemorrhoids, Eagles, CPBL moving back. Righties, nice job, moving up a little bit. Baseball Canada moving up a little bit, even though with the loss. Interesting. All right, Sluggers, Japan, no one's home. Staying where they're at. Legends, Masaba Full Swing, Veterans, moving up a little bit. And again, let Chen Fan Group moving back, even though no one's home. OMG, Big Dumper, Soba moving back. Taiwan Representative Club, the original, no one's there. And nice job was moving up a scotch there, Snow Poetry and Cats. Taiwan Super moving up. Blue Jays 2022, Taiwan, Lippies 2 moving back. All right, country for hardworking people to enjoy. Keep swinging. Moderated Butts, Korea, all moving back. Taiwan Representative Club 2 moving up. All right, and then right outside is Team Korea. Right outside looking in, 2 points back. But welcome back to the top 6,000. Met 7-Line Army, Baseball Bros, Taiwan Representative Club 1. Let these two chill. Wild Ball League, All-Stars, Blue Jays, Perla Negra, Korea. And first time ever in the top 100 rankings, the top 5 stay exactly where they're at. Mandalorians, Hanwha, Padres, all staying there back-to-back weeks. Tough and Tender, again, just not fair for them. Second place, and for the 39th straight week in a row at the top spot, because the rankings are flawed, is Taiwan. Those are the top 100. And of course, everyone, thank you for watching another Let These Two broadcast. We'll see you next time.